Welcome, everybody, to the most must-see AfterBuzz TV after show. That's right, we're talking Miz and Mrs., the second to last episode of the season, Road Trip Mania. We're finally on the road, and we're going to be breaking it all down next.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
On the road again.
We're switching it up. We've been hip-hop the past couple weeks. We've got a country song now, or I guess, could you call this country?
Yes, this is country. This is good for them going to Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not versed with country at all. That's like the one genre.
I actually like country.
You're missing a lot of good music.
Right, I like country.
Yeah, so do I.
I'll definitely have to give it a look. But welcome, everybody, to AfterBuzz TV Realities. Like I said, we're going to be talking Miz and Mrs., the second to last episode of the season. It's starting to wind down. I'm getting kind of sad thinking about it. I don't want the show to go.
Yeah.
Well, at least we get another season now with 14 episodes coming up in 2019, so that's exciting.
A lot longer. Mm-hmm. But to introduce myself, I'm your host, Michael Patterson, and I've got a lovely panel of two ladies beside me.
Yeah, I'm Anissa Barr. You can follow me on social media at Anissa Barr. I don't know if I can say that, but yeah, go on, Monique.
And I'm Monique Loveless. I'm super excited about this episode.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny.
I know, I've been out for like 2 weeks and I just don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah, no, this episode was great, and we got a great show for you guys, too. We're going to be talking about the Wrestlemania, his match with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, the leading up to the move, the actual move itself, which is something I've been waiting for weeks. I predicted that we were going to get that in the second episode, and here we are 4 weeks later.
Right.
And we're going to be going through This Is Awesome, our special segment once again, and we got some really good news this week, so definitely stick around towards the end of the show for that. But first, Monique, what do you think about this episode? How does it rate with all the rest of them?
I thought this episode was funny. It still has like the same kind of flow, so I think they're all kind of like even, but this one was funny, and I kind of wanted a little more to see them a little more about leaving Chateau Marmez, a little more sad maybe, or
a little
their
more
moment.
nostalgia.
Yeah, their little moment.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it could have benefited from like a montage of sorts of kind of like their best moments from beforehand. That would have been really cool. I'm kind of sad that they didn't include that now.
Yeah.
Anissa, what did you think?
I enjoyed it. I wish it was a little longer. I felt like the hour was just so short because we're so anticipating on their arrival, and then when they arrive at their house, it's like, oh, we gotta wait next episode.
And it was really abrupt too.
And it was I felt like it was very short.
It was.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting the end. It kind of just came, and we were like, okay, well that's it, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
We've only got one more episode, but yeah, I mean, I liked this episode. I can't necessarily say it was my favorite.
Right.
But there were definitely a lot of good things to see. Like I'd mentioned last week, I really wanted to see behind the scenes Wrestlemania, but we didn't get to see a ton of that.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit disappointed there, but obviously I got to see Marjo and her pranks, so I can't be dissatisfied.
Right.
If that makes sense.
This is actually I would feel like this is a harder episode to be like, oh, this is my favorite episode, because they had the baby, so that was a touching episode. And so yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. You're kind of on this emotional high from last week, and now it's just back to real life. But it was good to see that. But so we'll jump right on into the WrestleMania discussion. Very good match. I'm not sure. I'm assuming some of you guys saw it. Did we see the match at WrestleMania, the Triple Threat?
I did.
Of course, Anissa did. I didn't.
It was very good.
It was pretty much. It should have been the match of. It was pretty much the match of the night.
I think it was the best match on the whole card.
when it was the first match too.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's intentional. I think they front load their best matches at the beginning.
Right, and I hope one day we get to see them three again wrestle a triple threat.
I think we will.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. But very good match. But one of the things that we got to see was Maryse wasn't actually in New Orleans for the pay-per-view. She was at home, and we got to see some funny interactions with her in the TV, which I don't know why I wasn't surprised that Maryse didn't know how to use the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why would you be surprised?
Yeah, I mean,
like
it just seems...
she is a sophisticated woman. I feel like she would read more than she would watch TV. So
Well, and of course, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, just press the power button and it'll turn right on.
Right, or she has somebody else probably do it. Hey, can you turn on the TV?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, I noticed a controller that she has, and it's very popular. It's like that Echo or Rico.
Oh, like an Amazon product?
Yeah,
that box.
I noticed that was a remote, and I can understand why. Oh, how do you turn up the volume? Because those can be tricky if you've never used them before.
Yeah.
And I have one, and I don't really watch TV, but when I feel like I want to watch TV, I get confused sometimes. So I understand her point of that, but it depends how long she had that.
Yeah. Well,
And then
probably 7 years, close to 5 or 7 years.
Probably if he kept, trying to tell her, I kept showing you how to use this all the time, and you still don't know how to use it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand where she's coming from there, but come on, it's just
But
a
also
TV.
with one of those little things, it's really hard to use it because her TV might have a little speaker that says, hey, Samsung or whatever it is, turn the volume on. Maybe something, how like on Xbox they have that voice control.
Yes.
That's probably what TVs are starting to do that now. So maybe that's what she has, but she just doesn't know how to use it.
Like the voice control.
Yeah. On her defense, I get where she's going.
Yeah,
A difficult remote.
It makes sense. But speaking of difficulty, I was wondering if you guys thought that. Do you think that she was kind of upset that she wasn't at WrestleMania?
No.
No,
Well,
not at all.
No, I mean, was she even at the Hall of Fame? No.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't think she was at Hall of Fame either. But I mean, if you just had a baby,
She knew.
why would
She prepared for that.
Yeah.
She knew that it wasn't going to happen anyway. So
Yeah.
I feel like no.
You don't think she was even just a slight bit disappointed she wasn't there?
No, I mean, I think for her, she knows she's gonna have more opportunities to go to WrestleMania anyways. So I think this is pretty much a good bonding experience, especially if she just recently had her baby.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, who would literally, if I was ever a mother and I was in that position, I would not want to take my newborn to a big wrestling event.
See, because
I'd rather
thinking
be home and relaxed.
I was thinking she might have wanted to go to kind of like show her off in a way, if that makes sense. Like kind of like here
Let's
she
just say
is.
Maryse is not like not certain. Let's say Maryse is not like certain people.
Right. I do believe that Maryse is different than some of the other ones that we love.
Yeah.
But for the most part, no, I think she prepared for all of that. She knew when the baby was coming. The baby was actually early.
Yeah.
So I think she had all of that prepared in mind. Plus, I really think in my mind, the way that I see Maryse, I think Maryse is one of those people who actually know how to enjoy the moment. She doesn't always need something else. Like I know when we watched the Bellas, like they were all like, we got to get back in the ring, even though she had a new baby, even though, they had stuff going on. It was like that was their main focus. But with Maryse, I just kind of feel like she likes to have her moments. Like she knows I'm about to have a baby, he has to work. I totally understand. I've been in the ring. I don't have any issues. I can get back in the ring. So that's not a big thing. There's other things going on in my life. So I think Maryse really understands being in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was like, I can understand that.
Yeah, I think she's just one of those people.
I was like, part of me feels like just maybe a tiny bit she wanted to be there, because as a performer, it's one of those things where it's like when you play a sport for years, and then you have to go away, and it's that next year of like, oh, I'm fine, I don't need it, and then that next year you see everyone playing, and you're just like, I want to be there. But once again, I mean, I'm sure she'll be there for this next year, and as we can see, we'll get into towards the end of the show, she's definitely not done.
Right. Nope.
Definitely not done, but. So after WrestleMania, a little short there. Like I kind of said in the beginning, I wanted to see more from WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to do is going to show all of that stuff on Total Divas.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, that's what they
With all of
do.
them?
That's what they do every single Total Divas. They show at least a little bit of WrestleMania.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I would have thought they might have maybe shown, because they would have shown a lot on Total Divas or Total Bellas, but then shown just specifically Mike's experience at WrestleMania on Miz and Mrs. Because I feel like that's what this episode kind of missed me with.
Yeah.
It's like, because the title of the episode's Road Trip Mania, and you don't throw Mania in there without being intentional.
So when I listened to that episode, I thought it was the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, in a way.
That's what I thought. But when obviously the episode isn't really like that. It's their Road to Texas. That should have been their title, Road to Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Another
thing, too, that I thought was interesting in terms of WrestleMania was that Maryse almost seemed disappointed that Mike didn't win that match. I would have thought that she might maybe know the outcome.
You got to remember, you and I both know this. At the end of the day, you never know who's going to win or lose. They could, maybe that last second when he walked out, they probably told the referee, hey, the match is changing. So he probably told someone. Remember at WrestleMania 31 when it was Brock versus Roman, and then last minute Seth Rollins came out and both of them didn't know?
Yeah.
It could have been something like that.
See, because...
Sorry, Monique.
No, it's fine.
See, because I thought Miz was going to lose that match.
Right.
With all the circumstances, with the newborn, it made sense for him to drop the title. But I would have thought, I mean, and maybe this is because obviously I don't know these things, so I'm not in with any of the performers, that I feel like they would almost want to tell their significant other just so that they're aware. But yeah, so I guess there is that kind of level of not necessarily always knowing what's going to happen. But
yeah, and Maryse knows the business. She's been in the business for over 10 years, so she knows. And I liked the fact that they showed that because it showed her expressions. It showed her and her mother bonding together. And I liked them how her mom wore the WrestleMania sweater, and then she had the baby. That was so cute. They had the autograph, their own autographed baby t-shirt on the baby. Oh,
the onesies. We saw those last week too.
Oh,
it was
my gosh.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
And of course, they've just got custom onesies.
Of course, why not?
But yeah, so we'll move on now to the a little bit before they move, because we got to see some shenanigans before the move. But before we get there, we want to talk a little bit more about AfterBuzz TV and the things that we have to offer.
We do. Hey, AfterBuzz is our network producers at After Show for nearly all of your favorite TV shows, from dramas, reality, sci-fi, and there is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we want to help you, meaning we're asking you please to subscribe for one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channels, YouTube will suggest content that trailer made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be. They're very optional. So hit that subscribe button now. And for this channel, check out our AfterBuzz YouTube channel as well. You know, you have the choice to look at reality TV. Obviously, for us, we have tons of reality TV: Miz and Mrs, Total Bellas, Total Divas, as well as Real Housewives, Love and Hip Hop. That's a big hit here.
That's true.
And more, as well as we have our wrestling. We have horror movies, competitions, other networks here. Go watch it. It's amazing, especially here at AfterBuzz. So many things you can watch. Never want to miss an episode. So let us know. Let us know you did in the comments. We read them. We reply. Joseph, we know you're always in those comments.
He's actually on now.
He's on now,
Nice.
but I know after the show, he's going to comment a big old paragraph. We see you, man. So for now, thanks for being the best fans and helping us grow. And we are pretty much the ESPN of TV talk. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Definitely subscribe to AfterBuzz TV competitions. Castaways After Show's on that, and Castaways After Show is great. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
But so getting back into Miz and Mrs now, we got to see a little bit of them before their move, a little bit of shenanigans with the bus not being able to get up to the house.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by this.
Right, not at all.
But what did surprise me, and this might just have to do with them creating drama, couldn't they have just Ubered to the bus?
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I was watching it.
Couldn't you just get an Uber XL and put everything in and just go on there?
Well, a lot of the times if you order Uber and it's a small ride, they won't take it.
Oh, yeah?
So they were a half a 0.5 miles down. Yeah, especially in their case, like they would have probably had to order like an SUV. SUV Uber is not gonna pick them up.
So I'm just wondering where specifically, not specifically because I want to know where they live. Well, I mean, now I can because I don't live there anymore. But I wonder what area they lived in. Like, was it off of Santa Monica Boulevard? Was it off of Sunset?
They live up by Bel Air. They live up in the Bel Air area.
I don't know where that is.
Yeah, I think it's
right where the fire was, because they had to evacuate. Yeah. So they lived up there.
Yeah, I think it's pretty not public information, obviously, but people know because as we talked about on the show.
Because they said that there's a freeway, so I just want to know how. My main thing is how the road is. That's what I mean. Obviously, we all know the roads up on the hills and stuff, they're tiny.
Yeah, they
like, you
live
have
in
to
the
move.
hills.
Yeah, if you guys have never had the pleasure of being in Los Angeles and driving through the streets around here in the hills,
Especially
you really owe it to
yeah.
yourself to drive through those streets. It'll test you.
And I had a friend who just went through that. He was like, "Oh shoot, this was breathtaking for real because they're small and they're really like they're curvy."
With some of those places, they close off streets now. Like I think you need a permit, like to prove that you live there to even drive through there.
Oh,
yeah,
like up by the Hollywood sign.
Or they'll like gate off certain estates and stuff like that. So
it's insane. I don't know why whoever
you need
was
like
designing
a
the
smart
roads.
car in order to fit.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, I the Uber thing, I feel like that was just an easy idea. And
especially like I wonder if their hill is downhill and then because going downhill is not bad.
Well, because I think he was saying that they had to go uphill. That's what he made it seem.
they were going up a hill.
Yeah, but that hill was like right there. Their bus was right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, obviously it's one of those situations where we don't exactly know, and I feel like in a way they probably did play it up a little bit for the cameras.
They had to because where's their assistants, the nanny, somebody else? They have people.
I don't think Maryse has a nanny.
Yet. At this point.
We don't technically know.
Yeah, we don't.
I have a feeling she probably wouldn't.
You can have a nanny like a couple of hours per day. So, I mean, we don't know. But they have an assistant. I know that much. They have to have an assistant. So, where were these people? I do think they played it up a little bit because they had other people around.
He even talked about paying people to organize everything to get packed. I didn't even know you could pay people to organize your move.
Yes. Yeah. The companies that do moving stuff, they'll do all of it.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That you could have you pay someone to specifically organize your move. So that's fascinating. I feel like I'm learning more about it's LA. The LA elite the longer I watch this show and I come here. So
you can get whatever you could pay for whatever you want out here.
I mean, you can get $600 cheese wheel pasta. I mean, that blew my mind. But
what?
The truffle.
Yeah, they had truffle pasta in one of the previous episodes. It was all a mess. But one of the other things that I thought about too. Oh yeah, exactly. One of the other things that I thought about that I found kind of interesting is that it always seems that Marjo is always with them.
Yeah.
Do we think that it's because of the show that she's always with them, or does she live with them?
I think she was there. They specifically said she was there for a few months because of the baby coming.
Yeah.
So I saw Maryse say that in the beginning episodes, or like it aired on the trailer or something like that. So I know they was explaining that I think she was going to be there. Maybe that's why she doesn't have a nanny yet, because her mom is there. Yeah. So I think that was the point of her being there, and it was the time during the show. So they were just like, this.
I feel like this show is more focused on Miz, Maryse, and Marjo.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way.
It doesn't really show Mrs. parents as much.
Yeah, because we got to see them a little bit in this episode, but again, it was a very short.
And by the way, shout out to the original Mrs. Mizan, because she liked my picture I posted, and I was like, oh my god, is this real? So I clicked on it and it was real. So.
I was surprised that she even had a social media account, because it seems like she just doesn't, because everything we've seen in this episode or in the show so far with her being there, it either seems like that she doesn't really want to be there, or that she's not comfortable with the attention.
Right. And she's just there to support.
Yeah.
She's probably just there to support like any other mother.
Yeah, of course.
And I feel like she's a type of woman who's just like not very like, you know, like who wants the attention.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the camera's there, she wants to be around it, because she doesn't really speak. And obviously in this episode, we didn't really see her interact during the map.
Yeah, I think we see where Miz gets his personality from. It's obviously from his father.
Yeah.
Especially with the whole segment in the beginning with him at Access and the mimicking his whole hand movement.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Very funny. But so we got to see the tumultuous pre-move. We actually get to the move, which is unsurprisingly even crazier than the pre-move. Was this as tumultuous of a move as you were expecting it to be?
It reminded me of pretty much all the, like, the Total Divas when Daniel Bryan got the tour bus for everybody. That, and also reminds me of when Total Bellas, when they got the tour bus. So it just reminded me of something like that, because every time they had a tour bus with these three shows, something always happens.
I know, it just seems like a bad idea.
Dramatically.
It just seems like a bad idea to get a tour bus.
I think they should have took Maryse's first idea and just got a jet and called it a day.
Well, and that's the craziest part about this whole thing.
They should have flew.
Multiple times Mike is saying, if we would have just taken the U-Haul or if we would have just done this. It's like, man, if you would have just taken the jet to get there in the first place, this would have never been a problem.
Right.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we don't know how much they'll afford.
But that's the thing. Well, didn't he have a jet on standby when Maryse was pregnant?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's probably like the company that probably gave him the jet.
That's possible. But
I don't know.
But I would not put it past them that they probably could get the jet. I think this is one of those situations where they could have easily taken the jet over there and just paid the movers.
And nowadays, we all know, and if you don't know, like, y'all have the jet app. There's an app where you can put in and you can actually sit on the jet with a few other people and go to the same place. And that is what a lot of people, richer people do. I think it's like, right? It's a membership. I think it's like a certain amount, like $15,000 a month. But
$15,000 a month.
The thing,
you know what I could do? I could pay my student loans.
But my thing is like I feel like if you're spending $600 every day on some truffle, you got it. Yeah. Okay, so for that one point in time, you got enough to scrounge up, even if it wasn't even just a jet, they could have just flew because they had all of their stuff moved. The movers were already there. They could have just flew, and then if they would have flown, that would have made that not so. They wouldn't have to take the bus, and then they could have talked probably about Wrestlemania and them leaving Chateau Marmez a little more, because I felt like those two parts were needed to be a little more in depth than this tour bus thing.
Yeah. I feel like this is one of those situations that it was created when the show idea was pitched, that part of it is going to be this move with the bus, because it almost just seems more difficult than it has to be.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely more difficult than it had to be, because buses stink. But
it was good TV. It was good TV.
It was funny.
I'm surprised she didn't have Eva Marie help her.
Why is that?
Because they're buddies.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're from what I've
we
seen.
don't know what Eva was doing.
Well, it doesn't
Eva
matter.
could have helped her pack.
Maybe, yeah, but they could have brought her on the show.
Or Avril Lavigne, apparently, because they're friends, I guess.
Where's all your celebrity friends that could have helped you? But, at the end of the day, it showed great TV, and just a lot of stuff had happened on that bus.
Yeah, did it live up to your expectations of how crazy you thought it would be? Because the whole thing with the diapers and the freezer...
That was weird.
No, I don't.
Who does that?
No, you do that for your jeans. You're supposed to fold up your jeans and put them in the freezer so that they don't carry a stench to them after you've worn them a couple of days or whatever. It's really good tip for guys. Guys like to wear the same jeans for a moment.
Great, I should write that down.
So what you do is you fold them up and you put them in the freezer, and it helps with you not having to, quote unquote, do laundry. So I understood what he was saying, because a lot of guys actually do that tip. That's probably why he knew it.
I put batteries in the freezer.
No, that makes sense. I was like, that's a thing too.
Yeah, because anything that kind of freezes kind of keeps whatever, inside. Yeah. Like we freeze meat, you don't smell the meat. But if you let meat out, it's going to stink after a while.
I just feel like there's a much better way to do it. Why not just put it in a plastic bag and then just throw it away at one of the stops? Because obviously, and maybe it's one of those hindsight kind of things, because I don't think Miz wanted to stop.
That's what it was. He didn't want to stop, so they were just suffering.
Yeah, suffering a lot. I mean,
they were doing a lot of suffering.
A lot of those things, it makes sense, but with the dogs and the cat, which I feel bad for those cats, which is, if anybody's ever moved cross country with cats before, they always do that. They always make those loud noises.
And Lawrence Falk II made a comment saying, Maryse cracked me up on the bus, sitting in the same spot on the couch for 36 hours with their baby clinging to her arms the whole time. She did not move. She did in the whole episode.
But she shouldn't have to.
She didn't move.
That's the crazy part, is that none of them should have to. I feel like this is one of those situations where
they shouldn't. At this point, they should have had an assistant.
Yeah.
If to go with them on the bus, so the assistant can help with the baby or help with them with anything they need, and they could just relax. Because when does Miz ever relax? This guy does not.
Yeah.
Ever have a break.
Yeah, I mean, because we saw him.
I don't think he wants to, though. He's just one of those people who have to go. You can tell he has, like, even when he's just around people, it's like he has to be on.
And that's understandable, but at the same time, he knows his body, too. Mm-hmm. But looking out as a fan and everything, it's like, dude, we know how this business works. Mm-hmm. Your body can only take a toll. Look how many wrestlers that are older and can't even do much anymore because they're on the go. And
well, and you
I
gotta
think he'll
too,
be fine.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, and you got to think too. I mean, he willingly chose to have this show. I mean, he's an executive producer on the show.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm sure it's one of those situations where
I think he really loves. It's one of those things where I had a boss like this. Like, you really love what you do, so it's not really taking a toll on you because you're really doing a passion and your dream. You're not doing a job. Like, you're doing a passion and a dream. So him continuing to go, I don't think he looks at it as I'm going. I think he's like, oh my gosh, I love waking up doing this every day. I love waking up to my wife. I love waking up to, my job or what I do. Like, this is the dream come true. So I think that's just his personality. He's always kind of been like that. Even I watched The Real World, and I remember him from that. So
what, 2000? What year was that? 2099? No, not.
I'm not sure. I
can't remember exactly
I was little.
What year.
You're probably like how old? 3?
Maybe if it was 99, then 3. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I'm old.
I'm young, but one of the things that we got to see too in this episode was, of course, Mike has to prank Marjo and Marjo has to prank Mike. In terms of because the biggest one that we got to see was Marjo getting left behind at the bathroom, which seemed to be a very innocent situation. Should Mike feel bad about the pranks that he pulled in this situation? Because it seemed like he was really remorseful for it, and Marjo was really mad.
I think the second time when they legit accidentally left her, he was legit like, oh crap, this is not a prank. Because I didn't see her walk out. I thought she went to the bathroom.
Yeah, when I was watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we even saw her say, I'm going to the bathroom.
It didn't look like it was produced when she was pissed. It looked like she was legit pissed off.
So you don't think it was scripted?
She was legit pissed off.
It looked like, and then even Maryse was like, if she curses you in French, you're in trouble. Yeah. And I think she did, or she said something in French that
probably they shouldn't air.
Yeah.
One of those.
They cannot air.
Well, because it was really funny when he was talking about her. I think he said something along the lines of, I've been in the ring with The Undertaker, and I'm more afraid of Marjo than of The Undertaker, which that's definitely saying something, because every time you ever hear somebody talk about The Undertaker, it's always just like,
scary.
I'm scared, yeah.
That's because I don't know. She's a real smack.
She's a French Canadian, so.
And she seems feisty. I mean, she could probably beat me up, probably.
Maybe.
Mike thought she could beat her up, but
like the way, because at the door, he was like, oh crap. Like, you could, I don't know. It just, that feeling when you're in trouble. And I think that's how.
That's why I think it wasn't scripted.
Yeah.
It kind of lends itself to believe that maybe if you're being cynical, that it might have been scripted, but I don't think it was. It seemed very genuine. At least the reactions afterwards, because maybe Marjo had been in on it and was just acting, but Mike definitely didn't seem to be in on it if there was anything to be in on.
Right.
So yeah, that'll be one thing to see. But so we got to see at the end of the episode, they've finally reached their house in Texas. We're going to be seeing that in the next episode. But so that's pretty much this episode that we got to talk about. So we're going to go into the news for this week. And I know, Dominique, Monique, sorry. Freudian slip. We've got some great news for you this week.
So this week it was really great. The viewership went back up. It was actually over last week and the episode before that. So they topped out this week, and they're looking forward to going up next week too. So hopefully, they continue to go up, because they are, like we said last week, they are the hit unscripted series for USA thus far in the last 7 years. So that's great to know. And now let's get into the news that they want to discuss so bad. So we had SummerSlam, and we saw their match. I actually watched their match. Hey, I watched it. And they had their match, and the Miz won. Do you guys think
wins by shenanigans?
Y'all think he really cheated? Was that really a cheat?
Yeah, he used brass knuckles. Yeah. Which is exactly what I think it should have been. Because I know a lot of people, I was reading a lot of people talking about it online, and they were upset that Daniel Bryan didn't win in a clean match, but Miz has to cheat. Like that's just the story. It's always what he does. Because even he says in the promo afterwards when Daniel's getting with the ice on his head next to the brain picture, which was hilarious. He's like, he always does this. It's like, I think it ended exactly the way it should have.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah.
Miss Encyclopedia up over here of the WWE.
I liked it. I mean, at this point, I didn't know who to choose because I like Daniel Bryan and then as well as like The Miz. But overall, I felt... I'm a little surprised that Brie didn't even like pop up or anything at SummerSlam and didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was odd that she was so interested.
I was waiting.
Yeah,
she was waiting for her to.
She was so interested in being at Ronda Rousey's match at ringside, but not during her husband's most important match ever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
that was a little iffy, but
right. Well,
but as we'll see, it's not the end.
It's not the end because we are getting what we had talked about. Was it a couple weeks ago when TK was here? And she was like, "I would love to see a mixed match." A tag match. So we come to find out that is happening at Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
On September the 16th. So yesterday they came out during
where they're
Smackdown.
having this at?
AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh.
So
that's a big arena.
Yeah, so they came out yesterday at Smackdown and
shoot, look at you.
They I know. And they want Daniel Bryan to have a clean match. Win. He's like, you cheated, so I need a clean match, and this is gonna be. I think I'm a little excited about this match.
This will be very interesting because we talked about it earlier in the after show. I think in probably the first episode if Maryse was going to get another one, and we didn't see her move much in that episode at WrestleMania. It almost lends me to believe that maybe this match it's going to be mixed, but we're not going to see much action from the women because I don't really know if Brie still has it in her either.
Dang, you just cutting all the women down. I think they got it.
No.
I think they got it. Because Maryse
I'm just going off of what we've seen.
Here's the thing. From like a 4-month pregnancy.
Oh yeah, no, Maryse looks great.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, so I think that they're since these two women are from the diva era.
Yeah,
they're making them probably wrestle like divas. Mm-hmm. That's why we got that WrestleMania match. Because it looked like I was watching too when they were facing. It was a divas match instead of a women's match. It's different. These two, everyone knows Maryse can wrestle.
Yeah.
And if you disagree with me, then you need to watch her freaking matches as a heel when she had the Divas Championship.
Yeah, she was a gem in that era.
She was very talented as a heel in wrestling back then. Now I'm hoping she does the same stuff here. Mm-hmm. I'm glad. In a way, we don't know if Brie can. I don't want to say can wrestle, but because we know she does it. But when I say can wrestle, I mean literally like Sasha Banks, Bayley.
Yeah, because one of the things that I always hear about in podcasts and stuff about other wrestlers is when you're out for a long time, you get ring rust, and that's a very real thing.
It is.
And so someone like her, I haven't necessarily been the biggest fan of her work in the ring. So it'll be the thing that I'm most worried about is it kind of being a dud. One of those things that everyone's looking forward to, Miz and Bryan being in the ring. Mm-hmm. But when the two women are in the ring, I'm worried that people are going to be like, okay, can we get the other guys in there?
Right, because we don't want I just don't want it to be a WrestleMania. Another WrestleMania match where it's like 2 minutes and it's done.
Right. Well, Joseph says Brie returns after 3.5 years, hiatus, and he's excited for this more than WrestleMania 33.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited too. I'm not the biggest wrestling fan, but I am actually excited to kind of see this because I like both of them. So I think that I think it may be a good match. Hopefully they do get, remember to tune in September the 16th. It's going to be at the AT&T Center at San Antonio. So if you're there or you want to be there, get your tickets.
Are you Team Maryse or Team Awesome or Team Yes?
Team Awesome for sure.
Team Awesome.
All the way. All
what
the
are
way.
you?
Team Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Daniel.
Are we going to 2-on-1?
No, I think it's going to be all three.
Ooh, unanimous. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Team Awesome.
Interesting. It may not be the technical classic we're going to see, but it'll be a good story. But we're going to move on now to our special segment this week, which is This Is Awesome. There we go. It's so great. Every time I hear that, I just love it. So, what's your This Is Awesome moment this week?
Your favorite awesome moment in this episode?
Yeah, tell me.
No, he was talking to you.
I don't know. I gotta think for like 2 seconds.
Oh my gosh. I think the most awesome moment was when they actually accidentally left Marjo.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't mean to, so he was really remorseful because he had played with her before, but when she got left, that was awesome. But
I think the awesome moment, even though it sounds like a tragic moment, is when the bus broke down because he was like, you wanted this big old bus, you wanted glorious thing, and then we could have just gotten I think that's what shows how much Miz really loves Maryse and how much he would do whatever for her. But also at the same time, I feel like he's the type of person that just goes with the flow, tries to put his own opinion. But that part seemed pretty awesome to me because now they get to know he got a little bit of the road.
Yeah, it was very fitting. It was very fitting with this whole shenanigans bit. But my personal moment this episode was a little bit, and it kind of got buried in the beginning of the episode, but it was when Mike was signing autographs at Access and his dad looks at him and goes, "Hey Mike, when my hand goes up," and everyone in the crowd just goes, "Your mouth goes shut." Like, those are the kind of moments that I just think are so amazing, where everyone's on the same page, kind of in on the joke, and his dad can have fun at his expense.
I hope next episode we get to see his parents.
Right. We got to see his parents when he went to Cleveland. We got to see a lot of them when he went to Cleveland.
Well, and speaking of next episode, we're getting to the finale. It's called, I believe, Cowboy Miz. And so I want to know what's your prediction for the finale episode? Because there's a lot of different ways it could go.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Ooh, spooky.
I know. Such like Halloween music.
I think that they're going to move in and everything, and they're going to start probably trying to
live in
the country life, trying to figure out what's the closest areas to eat, what's around here that they can do.
Yeah.
But looks like they have a lot of land. So I feel like they're probably going to get horses.
Ooh, interesting.
I think that we're going to see how basically Maryse is going to go from a LA bougie girl to this cowgirl Texas bougie girl. So I want to see that transition because we still haven't really got much of her take on moving to Texas. I haven't heard much like excitement. It's more like, oh, we're moving.
Cool.
So,
yeah.
She needs to talk to Lana. Lana lives in Tennessee in the country area. So
yeah, I mean, for me, next episode, I don't really know, I guess, what we're going to see, because most of the time with season finales, it's kind of, you're telling the story that leads up to this moment. And since there's not really a ton of drama in the show, there's nothing that they're really building to. No. So honestly, I think it's just going to be one of those episodes where you're going to see them move in, start living that life. Mike's going to be a wacky, crazy guy like he always is, and then they're going to ride off, maybe literally or metaphorically, into the sunset. Who knows?
Right.
I was like, so now I'm thinking about those horses. It's a pretty good idea.
I think he's going to take Maryse to go get her some new cowgirl
some boots
or something.
Interesting. Yeah, but it'll be good to see. I hope you guys are all going to be tuning in with us for that after show. We will be talking about it. Unfortunately, I will not be here next week. I've got to go to class. I got to go to school. I'm sad about that.
Get that education.
You will be missed.
I've been here since the beginning, and not this one. But
You can mix class.
maybe. Not yet. But before we go, my name's Michael Patterson, everybody. You can find me on Twitter at MikePatNews. That's MikePattnews. If you want to hear more of me talking about wrestling like we did here on the panel, I do that on Twitter. So follow me, please.
I'm Anissa Barr. You can follow me on social media at Anissa Barr. Also, if you sign up and subscribe to Wrestle Crate, either the light crate or the big crate, let me know, show proof, and I'll even probably give you a Funko Pop for free. So sign up.
Ooh, free stuff.
Yeah, Kenny Omega or Cody Rhodes.
Right. I'm Monique Loveless, and you can find me everywhere on all social media platforms at Miss Mo Loveless, and that's MS Mo Loveless. And make sure you check out all your style tips and tricks, like the freezer one, on my website at MoniqueLoveless.com.
Awesome. Well, that's all we got for today, guys. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.